Hey there, I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate.
And today we're taking a look at Gudetama, the Christmas edition by Renegade Games.
It's Christmas time, and so of course we are featuring a Christmas game. Gudetama is a game that has already been out. It's a trick-taking game. However, Renegade Games has put out a new Christmas edition with new artwork. And so we're going to show that to you guys here. We're going to take a look at it down below, show you how this game works, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on it as a gamer and non-gamer. All right, here's Gudetama. Let me show you guys this tricky egg card game. And if you already know the rules to Gudetama, you can skip over this portion of the video, as the rules for the Christmas edition are exactly the same as they are for the original game. But let me show you this trick-taking game. In this game, you are going to have cards that are numbered between 1 and 14. You can see there all the numbers, and the cards numbered 1 and 14 are going to have special powers on them. 2 through 13 are just normal cards with their numbers. Everyone's going to get 7 cards dealt to them. The rest of the cards you can set aside. You're not going to use them for that round. And someone is going to take the first lead on the first trick. And they will just play any card, and we'll say that it happens to be an 11. And so with my cards in hand here, you can see what I have. I have 2 choices. I can either play a card that is equal to the value of the highest card out in the middle, or I can play a higher card, or I can play my lowest valued card, which typically I don't want to do. So in this case, I am going to play this 12 because I don't have anything that is equal or higher other than this 12. So I play the 12, and then it would go to this player, and let's say that this player plays a 13. Now, whoever ends up playing the highest number is going to win that trick. And so that will be this player right here, and they start the next round. And so they play a 9, and it'll come over to this player, and this player is going to play a 14, which is the highest card in the game. And so it comes back over to me. I don't have a 14 because that is the highest card. So because I cannot play an equal or higher card, I have to play my lowest card. And you'll learn here in just a minute why I don't want to do that. Now, the special power when it comes to 14s, and this little icon here reminds you of that whoever plays this is going to win that trick, but they are not going to get to lead the next round. They're going to have to pick another player to lead. And so maybe they pick myself. And so then I play a card. Let's say I play this 7 here, and it would go over to this player. And, oh no, they don't have anything higher than 7, so maybe they have to play their lowest card. Goes over to this player. Now, they play a 7. Now, in the event that you have a tie here, like we do here, then it's whoever played the card most recently that is tied, which in this case will be this player. Now, if you're wondering what these little dots here mean, that shows you how many of that number are in the deck. So there are 6 7s in the deck. Now, this is going to continue until we get to the last trick. And in the last trick, everyone plays their last card, whatever they're stuck with. And voila. And whoever ends up playing the highest card for that last trick is going to take that card that they played, and they're going to score that number of points, which is bad. You do not want points in this game. The lowest score is going to win when somebody crosses 21 points. The 21-point threshold means the game is over. Whoever has the fewest points is the winner. Now, when a 1 is played in the last trick, I told you that the 1s have special powers too, and you can see this icon right here reminds you of that. When a 1 is played in the last trick, and only the last trick, all players score their cards. And so that's a little special difference here, and a way to make not only the player who played the highest trick, but all the players have to score their cards. So that is how you play Gudetama. Let's go back up top, and we'll share our thoughts on this tricky egg card game. All right, we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Gudetama Christmas Edition from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective, while you guys check out some gameplay footage between Sam and I and 2 of our children. So Sam, this is a trick-taking game. I really like trick-taking games. I know that's not typically your favorite style of games. But this is a trick-taking game, plays up to 7. It's about 20 minutes long, ages 7 and up. What were your initial thoughts about Gudetama?
I mean, you're right. Trick-taking games aren't typically my kind of game. I like to be able to plan my moves a couple in advance, and with trick-taking games, it's really one and done and then go on to the next one.
Yeah.
This one was a little different because you were trying to keep that low card in your hand, so you had to think about which one you were going to play when it was your turn. But it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I did not do well in this game.
Yeah, so the back of the box actually has one of those complexity scales where they've got, a scale and there's different bubbles that can be filled in. And it looks like there's maybe 10 bubbles and only one bubble is filled in. So this is like a 1 out of 10 complexity is what they're saying on the back of this box, which is true. This is a very straightforward game. And if you watch that rules portion of the video, you can pick up how simple of an idea
but if you're
it is.
Looking at that and thinking, oh, well, I can easily win this. That's not the
so
case.
much.
Yeah.
Not so much. You get to playing this and you quickly realize how how your game plan can go out the window.
There is some luck involved for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I definitely think the age range on it is appropriate. It says 7+, and we played it with our 7 and 9-year-old. I would not go any younger than that. Our 7-year-old needed a little help just understanding what we meant by lowest card and.
Well, I think she needed an idea of how to do well in this game, and the idea of being you want to really hold on to those low cards as best you can and really sacrifice those middle cards early on in the game so that you're only really stuck with low cards and high cards.
Yeah, but I think it's a good, learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Them.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the strategy on this game, Sam. For me, trick-taking games are a game that I enjoy because it feels like every round, everybody can play a card and it really kind of changes the game. And so every round, somebody's winning and it feels like everybody's getting a little bit of a boost, every time someone plays cards. And with this one, I get that, but halfway through a hand, I can sort of start to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
And I can sort of start to see I'm not going to do well the rest of this hand, which that happens in other trick-taking games. Gudetama is not the only trick-taking game out there.
But you can really tell how you're doing about halfway through.
You really can tell, I've got a horrible hand, or I played those first 2 or 3 tricks really wrong, and now I'm skunked.
It was rare that we'd get to the end of a round and I'd be surprised by my outcome.
Yes,
like I knew it was coming.
Now, there were a few times where I felt really confident going into the last few cards, only to find out, oh no, I'm not going to do well, and I am going to take that last card. So there are still some surprises in this one. I don't want it to sound like, well, everything's sort of planned out and figured out halfway through. Yeah. It seems to go kind of that way. It can go planned out and I'm not going to do well, and then it can surprise you every now and then in the last few cards. So, Sam, let's talk about you as a non-gamer and this strategy or the idea of what you're wanting to try to accomplish in this game. Was that something that came clear to you and straightforward and easy to pick up on, or was that a difficult process?
Yeah, I think the first round I was trying to kind of figure out, okay, what's my end goal? I knew what the goal was for each play, each trick, but what's my end goal? But then after one round, you understand. But it is a game that I just think is better understood after playing the first round. Yeah,
I think so. I agree with that because it seems like it's such a simple concept that you don't need to think about it. Yeah. And you get into it and then you realize, oh wait, maybe I should have been thinking about it, kind of thing. So yeah, I can agree with that. One that you just kind of have to play, I think, to really get an idea of how to do well in this. Yeah. Was it a fun experience? Yeah, it was fun. I always like games that we can play with our kids, and I think they enjoyed it as well. So yeah, I agree with that. I think this is definitely a family trick-taking game. Yeah. Which, as is the case with a lot of card games, and when I say card games, I mean like trick-taking games and card games like hearts and spades and even poker and that sort of thing, that the skill level needed to do well in those games is pretty high. Yeah. If you want to do well in that, you need to be pretty skilled. With this one, I think the bar's a little lower, and this is one that your kids can feel like they can grasp and they can compete just as well with mom and dad. Yeah, it's a good starting point for trick-taking games. Absolutely, I think that's a great way of putting this game. A nice entry point with trick-taking. Yeah, absolutely. So, is this one you would recommend playing with non-gamers? Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's get into pros and cons. So real quick here, a simple trick-taking game. Let's not spend too much time on it. What are your pros that you really enjoy about Gudetama?
I mean, it's very quick, which I think that can be said about any trick-taking game. It's easy to understand. You can play with young children. I mean, lots of benefits to this game, lots of pros.
Okay. Any cons?
I mean, again, just like any trick-taking game, it's very luck-based. So you can't go in it thinking, oh, I'm going to do well in this game, because you probably won't.
You are at the mercy of what you're dealt,
yeah.
for sure. And there can be some hands that are a lot worse than others. I do enjoy, trying to make the best out of a bad situation when it comes to trick-taking and card games, as that can be a fun challenge, and you can spin it. And hopefully it works out well for you, but you're right. Sometimes it's just you got dealt really bad cards. So, that's the way it goes with this one. So, scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. What do you give Gudetama?
I mean, it's a nice little game to have on your shelf and pull out every once in a while. I'd probably give it a 6.5.
6.5, yeah. I'm right there in the same ballpark with you, Sam. I was going to say 6.6. It's a solid score for such a simple idea, a low entry into trick taking, good for the whole family. 6.6 solid score. Christmas edition, you can play it this Christmas season and everybody can get in the holiday spirit at the game table. So that is Gudetama from Renegade Games. Go check it out.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.